Maine Coons are just lazy.
Maine
They
Coons?
giant motherfuckers. Yeah, so
What the
Maine,
fuck, nigga?
as in, yeah. So I'm hyper intelligent, but I have autism.
You said, hey, man,
It's
quit
been-
fucking with Jesus, man. Quit playing with my nigga.
No,
Man, look.
you just told me that y'all broke up.
Yeah, I cheated. Now, this is the
Hell
first
yeah.
time. This is the first time I've ever done that to anybody, and I'm not that morally upright, but that was something I didn't really do. You know what I'm saying? I typically strayed away from the cheating, but nigga, me and her got so much history, and like she has manipulated me before. She has used me for her own personal gain, like to get back at people and shit. Like she's used me to cheat on like 3 or 4 of her boyfriends, and like what I'm saying, we'll probably go back to them and not start talking to me or go talk to somebody new. You know what I'm saying? But it just used me for that. You know what I'm saying? Just came back here, give me a little shred of hope. You know what I'm saying? Just to kill the shit, and she'll repeat the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like she's done it multiple times. So in my head, I'm like, the opportunity comes up to do something that I shouldn't do. And I take it because I'm like, in my head, I can justify it. You know what I'm saying? In my head, I'm like, bitch, I'm over here reading your resume and you acting good now, but how long will that last? You know what I'm saying? Like, how genuine is this right here? Because this is the exact same way you acted all the other times we talked for a couple weeks and then you go and start dating somebody else. So it's like, we've lasted for like 3 months, and that's the longest relationship I had in a long time. And it's kind of scary because she's the only girl I've been in a really long relationship with. Like usually they only last a month. 1 fucking month is all I get. Like in my past 10 relationships, excluding her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bitch, you clearly have a spell on the nigga, and I'm not falling for it no more. Okay, but I might because we on and off like that, and she might forgive me. So we gonna have to wait and see.
Fuck that, dude. That's terrible. That's a
I mean, yeah,
terrible.
it's a terrible dynamic.
Just
It's a terrible
not
dynamic.
even just dynamic, but it's a terrible way to start a relationship. Like, to have a good house, you have to have a solid foundation. So you can't have the start of your relationship be the rockiest fucking part.
Uh, it's a business call. That's some stuff to do. But you're right. The foundations, bro. Yeah, we've been on and off for so many years. It's like we shouldn't even get in a relationship because it's too much. It's too toxic, man. It's too toxic.
That's what I'm
Oh
saying. Like,
shit.
it's just too bad. Because the same thing happened to
Ooh.
me with my first serious girlfriend. Like, I dated her for 4 years, on and off, because she cheated on me 3 times, and I was like, you know what? Third strike, you're out. Like, I can't be
Bro.
bothered because how
Look.
often can I actually trust you?
Yeah, man. And this fact that you was even willing to trust her again, you know, that's impressive, bro.
That's the thing that pissed me off the most. Is like, you did it one time, and I was like, you know what? I concede. I live far away. Maybe I fucked up somewhere, right? So I was like just reevaluating what I had done, and I'm like looking to see if I'd done anything wrong, and I can't fucking find it. So I had like self-confidence issues, or self-esteem
Oh,
issues rather.
yeah, that's a
And
big thing,
then
yeah.
she comes back like sad and is like, "Hey, like I'm sorry for what I did." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I like the fact that you understand your actions, you apologize, don't do it again. We're cool. I don't give a fuck, right? Like, just
Hmm.
move on. Like, water under the bridge, it's gone." And then the second time, now I'm like, okay, I don't really trust you anymore. Like, now I'm just kind of in this because I'm banging you, and this is fun.
This
And
is
I was like,
sex. Sex is
yeah,
great.
well,
Sex will make
it
me
was a little
forgive
bit more.
anybody.
It started out as just like, oh yeah, no more feelings, like fuck that. And then I started falling for her again because I'm spending all this time with her, and then especially hitting in the sack doesn't fucking help. That just makes it even worse.
Yeah, spending time and having sex is definitely.
And then so she does it again, and I'm like, you know, I just started to fall for you again, and you fucking, I just no, and just fucking kicked that bitch to the curb. I was like, fuck this.
So ain't got nobody got time for that. Nah,
And then I
bro.
turned around and fucked her cousin. It was fun.
You fucked a cousin.
Oh yeah,
I love to hear stories like that. God bless your heart.
bro.
That's what you deserve,
So,
brother. My young brother. You deserve to fuck a cousin.
without giving away any identifiable information. I dated this girl's cousin,
Old shit
quote
like that. I
unquote,
love
dated this
going back
bitch in
that
elementary
far.
school because it's like, oh, she's my
Your
girlfriend. We're in like third
kids.
grade or whatever, right?
Exactly, your kids.
Okay, and then I meet her. I had known her because she was like a childhood friend of mine since I was like 4, bro. Like literally met this girl while I was still having trouble being potty trained because I had a thing that was wrong with me where basically like your bladder muscles activate whenever you go into REM sleep. So like I would
Mm-hmm.
literally piss myself in my sleep until I was like 8 years old all the time. And so like
Oh the
literally
fuck.
before I was fucking potty trained, I knew this girl. Okay.
That's
And
fucking hilarious. That's a funny way of that really puts it into perspective the way you said it
like
like that.
and so I've known this bitch like forever. Okay. So like me and her cousin stopped getting along so well because I'm old enough to start understanding the world, and I'm a hyper intelligent individual. Like I don't know if I've told you this before or not, but my IQ is registered over 190 with margin of error of 10, meaning like my
Mm,
IQ is anywhere from 185 to 195.
okay.
So
Don't know what that means.
I'm your average person has an IQ of about 100 to 120. Like that's like your average
Okay,
person.
well that puts it in perspective. Okay.
Anything over 120 is like intelligent. Anything over 135 to 140 is like okay, you're a genius. Anything over 168 and you're smarter than or equivalent to Albert Einstein. 186 is what Stephen Hawking's registered IQ was. And
Nigga, didn't you just
so
say you got a 190?
I'm hyper intelligent. Yeah. So I'm hyper intelligent, but I have autism. So I don't
Are
do
you
well.
serious?
Yeah, so I don't do well with social cues. So like
Oh
as an
god.
example,
This
like if
explains
you're
so many
if
situations,
so like if you're
Malachi.
speaking to me in sarcasm and I have not spoken to you for a lengthy period of time, it will fly right over my fucking head. Like I will literally not get it at all. I will completely think you're 100% being literal and it'll just fly over me. Or like certain body language cues that are body language cues for only you, but they're only a small deviation. Like as an example, if you face away from somebody whenever you're talking to them, that
Hmm.
typically means you're done with the conversation or that you want the
Right.
conversation to be over. If your
Hmm.
feet are no longer pointed at somebody, that means you want to be done. Okay? That's something that I had literally had to learn. That's not something like I picked up on subliminally like most people. I
You
had
just
to learn
naturally
that. I had to
um
literally study the way that people fucking talk and the way that people interact with me before I started learning what they wanted to do. Like it took an immense amount of effort for me to understand the smallest of social cues from people because that's my brain's not wired for it. But my
now
brain is wired for literally everything whenever it comes to
everything
books.
else.
Science, math, all that other shit.
All
Easy.
that important
English,
shit.
fuck language.
Fuck you language. I just thought
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, you probably be bogus in English, but every other class is great. Even creative
Yeah.
writing might do you some justice.
Creative writing, critical thinking, and critical
Yep,
reading off the charts. Right? Like, but
absolutely.
straight up fucking reading? No.
That's funny.
Like
So much
like
straight out read.
straight up language? Nah, that shit garbage.
Nah, that shit's garbage. No, man, that's what's up. I never, man, you sniffling allergy season around the corner, man.
It's not just that. I live with a cat and I'm allergic to cats, so you know.
Now what the hell? I don't get people like you. I wouldn't do no shit like that.
Bro, that's
You
my
just
parents'
don't touch
house.
it.
What am
You
I
just
supposed to
don't touch
do?
them.
No,
You
I
allergic to cats?
I
They
can
not
touch
go.
her and hug her and kiss her and I'm fine. Like
They
I
funny
always have
as
the
hell.
sniffles.
They say, son, fuck your allergies. Just don't fucking you go near the
No.
cat at your own
So
fucking.
like to give you backstory on why we live with the cat, whenever I was 3 years old, or no, sorry, whenever I was 5 years old, so my sister had just turned one, um, we got her a cat named Baby from the shelter because we said, "Well, what are you gonna name the cat?" And she said, "Baby." So ever since she
Oh,
was 3 years old, she was
that's
picking up
cute as
this
fuck.
black cat by its hind legs, by its ears and shit, because she's a little child, doesn't know how to mess with an animal. She never got scratched. Never scratched her, never meowed at her, never bit her, never did anything. Just let her pick her up, let her do whatever, because my sister would never hurt her. At least intentionally. I mean, she probably did like sit on her a couple times or something, but she never hurt her intentionally. And I guess the cat understood that. So it was the most well-behaved black cat I have ever met in my life, and just the most awesome pet that
Black
we've
cats are
had to
usually
date.
pretty demented, aren't they? Like a lot of cats are
No,
pretty.
they're typically
Cats are
some of the
typically
nicest cats. So the two nicest cats are Maine Coons because they're so fucking big that they're just lazy, and the specific breed of black cat that we had, and I can't remember the name of it, but
So the
they're
black cats and the Maine Coons are the most calm cats in the species,
yup,
is what you're telling me right now.
and Maine
How did you
Coons
say that
are
with a straight
just
face?
Maine Coons are just
The
lazy
Maine
because they giant
Coons.
motherfuckers. Yeah, so
What the fuck,
as in
nigga? You not serious?
Maine as in the state,
As in it.
and coon as in the end of raccoon. They are literally the laziest of fucking cats because they are so big. They are literally just massive house cats. Like the
Why the
largest
fuck
current
did
Maine
they?
Coon
So they from
is like
Maine?
33 pounds.
They're from Maine. Is that where
Yeah,
they
I
originate from?
think that's
Okay,
where they were named. The
they
kids,
better. Cause that's a funny ass play on words. See, look, I'm the kind of
bro.
nigga. If I'm creating some shit, I put a subliminal in there like that. We got the
Oh,
Maine
you my
Coons,
main nigga.
the largest, blackest, laziest cats in the jungle.
Well, see,
That's
Maine
fucking
Coons are not black.
hilarious.
They are never black.
Never.
As far as I understand, there has never been a black Maine Coon. They are always some variation between white to beige to gray, but they are never dark enough to be considered black. And they're always stripy too. Like fuck, I'm trying to think. Like Tom and Jerry is a tomcat. Like Tom is actually a fucking tomcat. And those are fairly common across America. They have like the little white belly and then they're fur colored outside, so they're
Mm-hmm.
easy to identify. And then the black cat that we had was like jet, just all black, golden, fucking bright yellow eyes, beautiful little kitty, and she was so nice. I mean, literally, she would turn upside down and let you pet her belly. I have never met a cat that would do that. Not to this day since have I met a cat that will literally turn upside down and let you pet his belly. It just, she was so kind, and especially for the time period where I did not live with my parents, because I was like overly attached to my sister. Like,
Uh
to
huh.
put it in perspective, whenever people would call her by a nickname, like a name that was not literally her name
Mm-hmm.
verbatim, I would get pissed. Like I would literally start yelling at you.
No,
Even
bro, I was that protective of my sister too. That's
yeah,
crazy.
and even if it was like a term of endearment or affectionate, I didn't care. Like you had to call her by her name, or I would get mad.
That's real
And
specific, but I can relate to that, like being overprotective of my sister. She's like your younger sister, older sister.
oh, definitely my baby sister. Like I was 4.5 whenever she was born, so I was just like I was around her all the time. And so whenever I didn't live with my
Oh,
parents, she
so that was your
bonded to the
kid.
cat.
So, oh
And
yeah.
so whenever
Mm.
that cat was getting older, they were like, okay, well let's get another one. So they got this one called Angel, um, who I will not speak about how this bitch met her end, but basically we killed this bitch unintentionally because she wouldn't let our cat eat. That's number one. She wouldn't let baby eat, the original cat, and she would shit on the floor outside the litter box so baby would not go pee in the litter box. And so we were like, you know what? Fuck this cat. Like straight up gave her the fucking football kick outside the door.
That's reasonable.
Then we got another cat from a shelter and rescued her. Her name is Samantha. She's a blue Russian, so her skin is blue, her fur is gray, her eyes are like this bright green and blue, and then whenever it gets like dark, her eyes glow the typical yellow of a feline.
Mm-hmm.
But
Of a Sith Lord.
she is cross-eyed.
Oh
So
man,
she is the clumsiest little dumb bitch you have ever met in your life.
oh
And
my God, no.
she's feisty, but she's not mean. So like, she won't like come over there and fucking claw your ass. But if you play with her, she'll get mad and start playing with you. You know, like she'll fuck around. Baby would never do that. Baby would just paw you because she was declawed, but she would
Mm-hmm.
never hit you hard. She would just like give you love taps. Samantha will fucking hit you, bro. Like I mean, you will
Like,
hear the fucking like it's funny. So like you'll be like messing with her and you'll just fuck her out. And then you'll have like a little mark on your hand and be like, ow, that kind of hurt. You're like, you little hoe. But yeah, so that's why we live with cats. Because my sister bonded with a cat because I was not there
okay,
to help her. So like I will gladly take the punishment of being allergic to a cat and having a cat in the house and letting my sister have her comfort.
okay, that's good, man. How do your parents feel about you being so smart, man?
It's This is where shit gets rough for me because I don't disdain my parents. Like I don't hate them because they tried their best. Like they definitely loved me and tried their best. But if an eagle is raised by wolves, it's going to act like a wolf. It's not going to soar, if that makes sense. And
No,
so it's
I get what
like
you're saying.
they definitely tried their best. They did everything that they could, but they
No,
don't
absolutely, I'm sure.
understand the limit that I'm capable of. Like as an example, they would take everything away from me to force me to participate in school whenever I hated school because school felt like jail. Like I'm not allowed to move. I'm forced to participate in the things they want me to do, not in the things that I enjoy. And I don't learn a lot. Like what do I learn? Like oh shit, maybe one thing every few days, maybe one thing a week
And nothing important.
compared to 5
Nothing.
minutes on the internet. I learned 10 times what I've learned in a year in school.
Yeah, so they could work. They could have worked around your, because like you said, you got fucking autism and shit, and you don't. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't diagnosed with autism until I was 17, until I had
What?
8 months left in school.
Oh.
So my brain
Oh.
is really, really good at this one thing that typically happens in girls and not in boys. But for whatever reason, my brain is really fucking good at it, called mimicking. Or they call it masking, but for a simpler terms, it's mimicking. Basically, what I'll do is I'll study something that you do, as I said earlier with like body language, and I'll mimic it whenever I want something to the similar effect.
Now that's pretty funny. This is where I got my personality from. Television. I grew up as a
Yeah,
kid
like
watching
you
so
kind of
much TV,
became what
and
you
I
watched, right?
became a character, bro.
Yep.
I get that comment so much though. Like, nigga, you're a fucking animated character. Like with my facial expressions and my fucking voice. Like, bro, I
But you're
literally,
not any one person. You're like an
I'm not any
amalgamation of
exactly.
things that you watched.
Yes.
Okay, I am the opposite. So like, and not to be racist here, like I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not being racist whenever I state this,
Oh
but
God.
anytime I hang around a specific race of people, I mimic you hard as fuck.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
That's
like, and it's not me trying to be racist. It's not me trying to be mean.
could have been my headphone tweaking. All right, we got the
So where did I
drinks,
leave
man.
off?
Um, I was telling you so like basically you could mimic how I speak is what you're saying.
Yes, and it happens without me noticing. Like, we'll be deep into a conversation.
So
Like,
if you
right?
do it on purpose, do you have can you, like of
No,
course you can do it on purpose, right?
I mean I can, but I don't do it on purpose. Like I rarely do so. The only time I do it on purpose is whenever it's like I've just met somebody and I'm trying to get them to be comfortable around me. Like if I'm trying to make friends with somebody, I'll immediately start mimicking things that they do on purpose because it's my way of showing that we're similar. Like I'm
Now, that's
trying
a
to
deep
do
social thing right there, man.
yeah,
Like,
and it's because I don't understand how to be my own person around people. Like
oh
it's a
yeah.
literal like fucking brain defect that I have. And so if it's my first time meeting you and I interpret you to be kind, like which is very rare, but if I interpret you to be kind or
I know,
worthy
right?
of like trusting you, then I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, cool. I'll start mimicking certain things that you do because I recognize that they're positive. Like as an example, if you like laugh and you hit me, I'm not gonna hit you, but I'm gonna like touch you whenever I laugh because it's something that you do to show affection. I'm gonna do the same thing to you. That way you understand that
Yeah,
you're okay. Okay, so I'll do that shit on
man.
purpose. But whenever it comes to like the slang and the language, I do that completely by accident. Like I'll be like 30, 45 minutes into a conversation and realizing I'm dropping the N word every other word, and I'm like, oh, hold on, I need to slow down.
Tell my bro, that's not who you are.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm some fucking educated, half Mexican kid from the fucking
Right, bro.
Texas,
They
bro. Like, I should not be speaking like
you
a guy
said,
from Chicago.
man. No, that's real shit, bro. You definitely have talked like me before. Like you can really grab that Chicago accent. I can definitely attest to the fact that you do that. But
And I don't do it on purpose. Like I'll be so into just fucking
hmm
like being chummy
did
with
you
somebody if that's a way to say it,
wait,
and
wait, wait?
I'll just do it.
But one big question,
Hmm.
nigga. Did you see Attack on Titan? Did we talk about that already?
I have not seen it since our conversation, but yes, we did speak about it. The problem being, I
Oh,
don't know what episode I'm on because my cousin watches it and he's caught up.
oh,
So I don't know what episode I
oh.
left on, and I'm scared to click on the wrong thing and like
Yeah, you're
fucking
gonna see
skip
something that's
ahead.
gonna spoil it, and God damn, nigga, because the new episode, Japan had an earthquake, so they had to cut the episode off at the very end. They had to cut
And
it
it's
off.
not uploaded to Crunchyroll because of that, or it wasn't. I don't know if it is now.
Nigga,
but it wasn't this
but the
morning.
rest of the shit that they did air was on YouTube. My nigga, that was probably one of the most lit episodes. Like the whole season's been lit, but nigga, that episode was lit. Like I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I'm gonna say, fucking Zeke and Aaron and Zeke and fucking Levi got into it. You know what I'm saying? Beast Titan and Levi got into it. Round
the
two.
rematch.
Round two. No, really, that's round 3. To tell you the truth, but anyway, fucking Aaron, he a villain now. You know that, right?
I mean, I don't believe he's
it
the
depends.
villain. I think he's the good
But
guy. But
this
yeah.
episode, he can't. But this episode, I'm gonna say that he was a villain. He did some bogus shit. Like, I mean, killing the kids and the motherfuckers in that apartment was bogus. But he crossed the line with this one for me. It might seem like it'd be smaller to other people, but he crossed the line with this one, man. So you got to check it out, man, and definitely like catch up, bro. What anime are you caught up on?
Black Clover. I watch this trash ass isekai animes all the time because they're my guilty pleasure. So.
Oh my god, my older
out.
brother too. My older brother fucking he cherishes trashy isekais, man. He'll watch all of them. He's watched all of them. And then he tried to tell me that Bleach was an isekai, and then I didn't believe him. And then I later found out that it actually is considered an isekai. I was heartbroken.
I mean,
it's not really. It's not what it is. It's in the same category. Like I had to look it up and see if they categorized it as that, and they do. But it's not. It's totally not the same formula at all. Like isekais are so trash. They're so trash now because original isekais are like the original Digimon but no, I mean like the original ones like Inuyasha, you know what I'm saying? Shit like damn like Samurai
Log
Jack
Horizon.
would even be
Samurai
Jack. Bro, Samurai Jack is an isekai.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He gets thrown into another world.
He gets thrown in anytime a nigga get thrown into another world, isekai already. Off the rip.
Well, that's what the definition, or
that's the literal definition. Yeah, it's like
category
what the word means.
Is
what the word means.
Going to a new world. Yeah.
But speaking of isekais, does it sound like I'm moving around a lot?
A little bit, not a whole lot.
Okay. Speaking of isekais, fucking The Devil is a Part-Timer is coming back. Now I know you watched this.
I know.
I know you watched this. One of the most man, that is probably one of the funniest isekais. That's the only one I can genuinely say I enjoy besides Sword Art, bro. No bullshit.
Okay, I have some to give you, but that is I'll suggest these later. But fuck yes, dude. Devil is a Part-Timer was fucking amazing. Just because it was 95% comedy and 5% action, neither side was bad.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. This nigga worked at McDonald's, bro. What the fuck is even going on right now?
Okay, that sounded like you moved around a lot, but that was fucking funny too. It had an effect.
I was moving some shit, man. Bro.
So you go to notification, and then you scroll down, and there should be the tab that says sounds with a bunch of ticks green, and one of them says message. Tick it off.
Bow. Let me see if that worked. Come on. Nothing? Oh, God. There is a God.
Just be typing away.
There is a God.
Yeah.
He's a yeah. Now, you're a smart guy. Now, I believe you. All right? You're a smart guy. When you say there's a God, there might be a God. I feel like you thought about this.
So I have, and dude, I am so happy you brought this up because I love talking about this with people who are atheists because they don't have an explanation.
I'm not an atheist, all right? I just
and I'm not saying that
don't know what God is. It could be any kind
I wasn't
of God.
trying to pin you for being an atheist. But
I know what you mean.
My reasoning for saying it, yes, and that especially like the dude Kittens that I was just talking about earlier. He was a staunch atheist. Okay. Staunch, like absolute stuck in his fucking groove of mind. Like he's stuck in his like mindset,
Squanch.
Right? And we were playing PUBG whenever PUBG was like the brand new craze, and he sent me a meme about Christianity, and I was like, "Yo, I'll appreciate if you don't insult my religion next time." And like, no harm, no foul. I know you didn't know because I'm not sitting here toting my fucking Bible thump every 5 seconds, but I was like, please don't insult my religion.
I think I might have insulted your religion a couple times as jokes. I think I've made a few jokes.
I don't remember them. Like, the fact that he sent it to me and it was like that picture, like it bothered me, right? So I was like, yo, like please don't do that again.
What
did it say? Like,
How bad was
I can't even remember. I know it had something to do with Jesus, but I mean, you're talking about something that happened in 2017.
You said, hey man, quit fucking with Jesus, man. Quit playing with my nigga.
basically. But I asked him nicely. I was like, "Hey, dude, like, it's no harm, no foul, because I know you don't know. Like I said, I don't sit there and brag about the fact that I'm a Christian. I'm just like, can you
Say, I still love
please
you,
not
but next
insult my
time you say
religion?"
something about my nigga Jesus, I'm about to bounce that ass.
Exactly. And so he he's like, "Wait, you're a Christian?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "But you're one of the smartest people I know." And I was like, "Yeah, that kind of tells you something, doesn't it?" And so he for 4 hours I argued with this kid, right? And
Mm-hmm.
was just shooting down every fucking point that he tried to make. I would shoot it down every time. And he wouldn't give up. He would not give up. And so I was getting so fucking frustrated that I was like, I was literally about to give up. I was literally about to just close Discord and go to sleep. I was so
Mm-hmm.
pissed. I wanted to run my hand through my monitor because he just wouldn't shut the fuck up. And then finally, he brings up, he's like, "Okay, well then what about the Big Bang?" And I was like, "What about it, buddy?" And he was like, "It created the universe." And I was like, "No, that's a logical fallacy." So to explain why, tell me the Big Bang Theory, Elliot.
The Big Bang Theory. I guess at first it was nothing. Then boom, nigga, something out of nowhere. A
Okay,
big explosion,
no,
a large
no, you're
explosion,
wrong.
right?
The beginning of the Big Bang Theory is at one point in time in the universe, all matter and energy was condensed into a single point. How did it
Then it
come to be?
expanded.
How did all the matter and energy come to be?
So what you're saying is something had to create this matter energy
Exactly. But
to expand and whatnot. But I mean,
atheist single argument is it does exist because it had to exist. That's Stephen Hawking's fucking argument is a
but
goddamn goldfish level circular like it just circular thought
but
process.
okay. Let me ask you this though. So you like fuck with like the Bible specifically, like the stories that are told in the Bible. You believe all of them are like real and that
Not all
the
of them because you have to account so there's three things you have to take
because
into
it's a lot of
account.
it's because I always compared that to like mythology, right? They knew they titled it mythology. They knew it
But I
was
want you to
myths.
understand I want you to understand three concepts before we get into how credible is the Bible. Number 1, it's the world's longest game of telephone. It is the first thing that was ever written on earth.
Most popular book in the world.
Yes, it's the most popular book in the world, but it's the first thing that was ever written, ever inscribed. It was the original
You mean
language
like
of Genesis.
but you mean like it's the okay
So
okay.
you have to understand that the Bible is an accumulation of books, right? So when was Genesis written?
I don't know when was it. I
Genesis
mean,
was
it goes
Genesis
all the way
was
back to the Egyptians and shit, right? Like it goes
prior.
that far back.
Genesis is prior. Genesis goes back to the genesis of the world. It goes back to before the great flood.
Like
Okay?
caveman.
But Genesis was written
Does
post
it mention
Egypt.
caveman?
It was after Exodus.
Does the Bible mention caveman? How
No,
they
because
describe
there
it?
weren't cavemen. That's like the well, I mean, I guess
I
technically
mean,
you could say that
it.
there are or were, but it's
So
not the same thing. Like I'll explain to you in a couple of seconds, but like so what like you have to understand is that Genesis was written just after Exodus occurred. So in
okay.
I think the third book of the Bible is called Leviticus. So whenever the events of Leviticus were happening, Genesis was being inscribed. That predates every known writing in history, with the exception of hieroglyphics, meaning pictures for words. In any other language, it predates all other writing. So it has been written for
What
more
about
than
like?
like 8,000 years by now.
But the world has been around for longer than that, though, right? Like way longer.
Exactly. So how many things have been lost in translation? It's like the world's single longest game of telephone.
And what about dinosaurs? Like, how does
Dinosaurs
that?
are 50-50. I mean, like, what do you want me to say?
That's what
Like,
I'm saying. I'm just saying,
you,
like, like God don't talk about dinosaurs in the Bible, right? There's not
the
God,
seven
but it's
days.
not.
There were
It's called.
there were several days before he created man.
So you telling me dinosaurs existed for 7 days?
No, like, okay, here's another concept. What's a day to a being that is all knowing, all powerful, and has existed since time immemorial? What's a
Now
day?
that's a good
What's a
point, because
year? What's a week? What's an hour? You have no fucking idea.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We
That's my whole perception on is that I don't know enough. We haven't seen. I can't go back in time
that's
and
my
see what
point.
happened.
And this is where like I also fall on the one of the other points that atheists always bring up is that, well, if there is a God, how could he allow such injustices, like, how do bad things happen to good
Oh,
people, essentially? Is that how can you compare what you understand about the universe to something that knows everything and has power over it all? Like,
yeah,
you can't. If I were to draw if I were to pick your intelligence was a single grain of sand, God would be literally the universe. He would be all matter and all things in existence compared to your grain of fucking sand. And you want to tell me you can
grain of
understand
sand.
morality or logic?
You know how small a grain of sand is, my nigga.
Exactly. And look at the size of the universe. Like, that's my point that I'm trying to drive across, is that, like, even me, a hyper intelligent individual who makes any normal human being look like a fucking moron. I know nothing in the eyes of God. Like, I am nothing. I'm a fucking speck of dust that he snapped his fingers and I'm boom, I'm there. Or in the terms of knowledge, what do I know? Fucking calculus? This bitch made the physics of the universe. Like, you have to think about that. He created the laws by which we exist. And you're trying desperately to understand quantum mechanics or even fucking basic physics, like if I push you, you're gonna fall because fucking momentum. Like, ah, the massive difference in information is just too indescribable. And so, like, it falls back on the same thing with the Bible. Like, how can you take every word in the Bible literally when you don't even know the definition of the word? There it goes. Can you hear me again?
What was that?
I don't know. You cut out. You stopped talking. What happened?
You said hello.
Oh yeah, that was me. Because I didn't know if you were talking. I didn't know if you were gone. I couldn't hear you.
Nah, but what I was saying was, you don't know what the fuck. I don't know anything. And then also another cool theory. I like aliens. Like what if God's just a fucking alien? Like a higher
Well,
being that's
see,
like an alternative life form. You know what I'm saying? And then man, what if they're like multiple of these beings? You know what I'm saying? That's what
an
that's what the
alternative life form wouldn't necessarily work. It would have to be a higher dimensional being.
I mean, well, yeah, higher dimensional as well. Because I mean, you familiar with the H aliens theory? H aliens?
Yes, but to preface what happens also in um Ancient Aliens, like, don't get me wrong, it is entirely plausible, but
Mhm. Not everything's
I
plausible, but the
still
shit that they talk about at the beginning, like the shit that has been found throughout history, like how they found a computer, a working, functional design for a computer, like in an Egyptian tomb. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
or
shit
like
like
how
that is
95% of their right angles are harder to get than what we can do now. Like,
right. How
the
they built the pyramids, that the pyramids are the scariest thing. Like, how the fuck did you motherfuckers do this shit?
and they're
You
perfectly
know?
aligned with certain constellations and shit in ways that we
Right.
still can't do with modern tools.
So the Anunnaki, you know what Anunnaki is, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. So like I was a kid looking at that shit. I'm like, bro, I think I want to believe this because this is cool as fuck. It's kind of fucked up because they say like, oh, well, humans were just a slave race, and that's why they were slaves and shit like that. Like, in the beginning in Egypt and shit like that, and they were building the pyramids because these other beings were interbreeding with them and basically rewrit their DNA with maybe their
yep,
own. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
yeah.
bro, that sounds crazy, and it sounds like it's plausible because that would explain how they fucking had early technology. That would explain a lot of early technology, you know,
It would
and
explain
and a,
so
and a
many
lot of
different things.
and a lot of it's so many different things. But they had the art, fucking artworks in the cave drawings and shit like that. Are
Yep.
crazy designs, man. Shit that look like spaceships and niggas flying in chariots, man. Ancient Aliens really like embedded in my brain, bro. Like I read, there was a book, Chariot of the Gods. I fucking got from the library and I read and
Yep.
all kind of shit, man. And I was just really into it because that is what if I had to choose a religion, I'd be like, man, I probably believe in the ancient alien theory because it coincides with God. Like that's what one of the guys on the show was saying. He was like, bro, I believe in God, but I also believe in extraterrestrials and that these things can work hand in hand. I'm like, I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? They can live in arms. It's just we don't know enough. We can only hypothesize. You know what I'm saying? There's no book on well, there are books, but there's no collective writing that was made a long time ago. It's all recent discoveries and shit that we can
Yep.
figure out now. So man, religion is fucking crazy. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be chill, but the shit's crazy, man.
Well, something else that you have to consider is that the first human beings would have been born prior to the flood of the
Right?
earth, which was 8,000 BC, about 10,000 years ago, or it was 10,000
Mm.
BC, about 12,000 years ago. Can't remember.
Hmm.
The most recent Great Flood in history, that is. So the first meeting between Adam and Eve, which if what we think is true, or if what they think is true, which is that Adam was an alien and Eve was a human, and that they crossbred, and that's
Ooh,
how we have our current genetics, that would make sense why our evolution has been so rapid as far as
so
technology goes
rapid,
and
and people
intelligence.
getting so intelligent because we so much smarter than animals. You got to think like, how? We're so
Well,
much smart. Like
here's here's
we're
the
so
thing though.
far above the food chain.
Whenever it comes to being smarter than other animals to a ridiculous degree, you also have to look at current apes and chimpanzees because they do the same thing that we did primitively where they use tools, right? They use
Hmm.
tools for different things, cracking open coconuts, killing enemies, doing a multitude of different functions. They even make knives. Like, bro, the apes that are like experimented on where they like learn sign language and shit, they make and use knives.
They made shivs like they in
No,
prison,
no,
bro.
like a knife,
You
like
talk about a
to
knife,
cut
like,
fucking food, like a knife, like to cut
bro.
open a banana because they don't want to eat the peel. A
If they
knife.
figure out forks, we're dead.
Well,
If they if they figure
see,
out if they create
you
a fork, I'm talking three prongs on a stick.
and see the earliest prongs or the earliest forks were actually dual pronged. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
so
I can
it'll
believe that.
it'll
Yeah,
be two and then three, but the moral of the story being that you can accredit our intelligence to something similar in intelligence to an ape mating with something similar in intelligence to an extraterrestrial, right? A
yeah.
being
But
that has literally traversed light years to get somewhere, implant its DNA, and crossbreed with another level of the genetics. So somewhere out there was a little green man who really wanted a fucking monkey, and they did.
yeah, that monkey had a fat old ass. That was a black monkey. That
But
was a black girl monkey.
the reason why this also works hand in hand with God, which is where I agree with this other person who was talking about it, and I do remember the guy that you're talking about from the show, is
Yeah.
if you're an all powerful being, why stop at a planet in the solar system?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's even crazier to conceive, bro. Because it's like, nigga, it's probably other races that are humanoid and shit like that. Like how Star Wars has humanoid races that just look different. Like what Darth Maul is, how his people are all fucking humanoid, but they
Look like
interbreed it.
demons.
Yeah, they look like demons and they can survive. They got more stamina and more endurance. Nigga, this shit is
Yep.
crazy. I was watching Clone Wars. Did you see the final season of Clone Wars?
I haven't seen it in a while. I watched it whenever it came out. Or I watched,
Okay, yeah.
I think it's done. How long has it been done? Since like 2017?
It's been done since like, oh no, it was like 2019. Because it
2019?
wasn't
Okay.
it's not that
It's been
old.
a
It's
little while.
2019. Yeah. Plus I just watched it. Nigga. Shit was amazing. My nigga Darth Maul got his hallway scene. Ahsoka was just Ahsoka was nice in that season, man. Like I'd fuck Ahsoka. Whatever kind of alien bitch she is, she can get it. I ain't gonna lie
She
to
can
you.
get it.
She can get it. And then you see her in The Mandalorian. Did you watch The Mandalorian?
No, I need to. I need to watch season 2.
Ooh, man.
We don't
You
have
know,
Disney Plus. I have to pirate that
ooh.
shit somewhere.
Oh yeah, you gotta pirate it. Um yeah,
I'll
bro,
probably
but
use
that
Tiny Zone.
yeah. Oh, you're gonna have to send me a link for that. I don't know what that is, but I need it. The shit is nice, man. It's just like that's the only good Star Wars content out right now, bro. The movies, the past three movies, I ain't fucking with them, bro. But
Okay,
like the
I
only good
disagree with you on
shit,
that front. I liked the. Can you still hear me?
the first one. Yeah, I
Okay,
can
hold
hear
on.
you.
Oh, I'm just asking because my screen goes dark whenever I'm not fucking clicking my mouse.
Yeah,
Um,
my shit does too.
so on the, I think it's movie 7. Yeah, movie 7. So the first movie after the prequels, and that movie was fucking. I was like, okay, I fucks with it. Like solid 7 out of 10.
What about the last one?
And bro, I loved Rise of Skywalker, but I
Really?
hated the eighth installment. Like, I mean, it kind of goes back to like the nostalgia factor. Like, I loved Palpatine as a villain. Like, who the fuck doesn't love Darth Sidious, bro? Like, he's such an
Palpatine,
asshole.
Darth Sidious did some shit.
That's what I'm saying. He's
That
a
man is
fucked up little.
impressive.
Like, he's
He's
just
That's an
fucked.
impressive human being. What he did, how he turned the tables on
He
their
ain't
ass.
even a fucking human being. He's
I don't know what
just
that
an
nigga is, but
asshole.
he's evil. But I don't like that they made a Palpatine a Skywalker. You're not a Skywalker. You're a fucking Palpatine. You have the blood of the most evil man in the universe inside you right now. You're not a good person. They should have made her a villain or something. That'd have
No,
been a cooler
no, but
concept.
that's the whole point. That is the whole fucking point of the movie, though. So if you watch not the Clone Wars, but if you read the books, actually, I think they do meet them in the Clone Wars. Do they ever meet the ones? The brother and the sister, and the father and the mother.
Fuck no, they don't meet them in the. Well, I mean, no, not Ray. No.
No, I'm not talking about the movies. I'm talking about Clone Wars, the
In Clone
show.
Wars, yes, they do. Yes,
Okay,
Anakin meets them.
the
Anakin, Obi-Wan,
original,
and
the
Ahsoka.
progenitors of the Force, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, they literally represent fucking yin and yang. Like the
Yep.
brother is the force of all
Yep. The
destruction,
darkness.
but
Yep.
creates the most, and the
Hmm.
sister is the force of all creation, but destroys the most. Like they are literally she is literally the embodiment of what the Force represents, is that there is balance in all things. Palpatine is one of the most evil people in all of fucking existence, and his great granddaughter, who's supposed to succeed him and be this horrible fucking bitch of a Sith, turns out to be one of the most amazing and bright people in the universe who brings
So
balance to the Force again.
you liked Kylo Ren? You
I
liked
mean,
Ben? I don't like that they had Luke try to kill him. That didn't make sense to me. Like they
when did
really
Luke try to kill him?
that's the whole backstory. You didn't know that?
Oh, you mean that? No. Okay, I thought you meant like as
No, no,
an
no.
event
I
in the
didn't.
movies, but you
No,
meant
no.
like
I
in
don't
the.
like that they did that. Like they had to degrade Luke's character to make like
That
Ray
doesn't
and
degrade
Kylo.
Luke's character though, because that goes along with what. Think
They
about
made
that.
his ass a bum. They could have
Well,
just followed the. They could have
but
followed the
think
comics,
about
bro.
what
In the
he's
comics,
learned.
Luke. In the comics, Luke trained Ben, and they went on adventures and shit, and they fought evil together.
Yeah,
And
and it would
like
have been nice if they followed the comics, but we know damn straight that they don't follow the fucking source material. Disney fucks that shit up all the time. Why
they
do you think
said that there
Snoke
was
was
no
such a
source
fucking
material.
non-factor?
Yeah, and Snoke is a bad. That's what I'm saying. I don't like the
And
villains in the
Snoke was
story.
being about it, and that's why I hate the eighth movie. Is because Snoke did fucking nothing.
He
What did he
did
do? Get cut
nothing.
in half?
Are you a
Like
Sith
fuck.
Lord or a bitch, bro? What is that,
Exactly.
bro?
Ugh.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like Snoke. I don't like the villains, so that ruins it 100.
Snoke
percent
was lit. Snoke to Kylo was literally Dooku to Anakin. He's just a fucking stepping stone so that way they can be the next Sith Lord. And it was
Now
fucking gay.
Dooku, don't degrade Dooku,
And Dooku
man.
was better. That's my fucking
Dooku was
point.
better.
And he
Yeah,
was in the
Dooku was
fucking
better.
prequels. Like what the
Dooku
fuck?
smoked. Look, I just watched the prequels. Dooku smoked Anakin and Obi-Wan in the early days, bro.
Yeah, and then whenever he fought
He's-
Anakin, whenever Anakin
oh,
was finally starting to learn that there's balance in the Force and that you can use
when
both
Anakin, but
sides
Anakin one of
to
the
no
rawest
end.
niggas.
And he
Anakin one of the
fucked
rawest
him.
niggas in the
He
game.
fucked him up. Anakin said, "Yo, nigga, your shit mine," and damn about cut his fucking head off.
He say, "Do
And
it,
so Palpatine was like, "Do it," and then he
kill him,
really did do it.
kill him." It's not the Jedi way. I've been so into that shit recently, man. That's what I'm saying. When I went back to watch the prequels, I enjoyed the prequels more than I enjoyed
Hello there,
the modern shit. Yes,
Obi-Wan
because
Kenobi.
the nigga who played Kenobi, Rose, they did Grievous
Ewan
dirty as fuck.
McGregor.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor. I'm glad he's coming
Bro,
back. They
the
did Grievous
post that you
dirty.
made on Facebook. Whenever you die 5 seconds before every Jedi drops their lightsabers on the floor.
Another addition to my collection. Yes, bro, because that's funny as fuck.
Oh man.
And I've been
Could you
playing
imagine
Battlefront a
like
lot
Grievous with
too.
100 fucking arms just like trying to waddle forward with a bunch of
Have you
lightsabers spinning?
seen
Oh my
2003
goodness.
Grievous?
What do you
From the
mean?
original Clone Wars. They had an original Clone Wars series before
Yeah,
the
I used to watch it
original
whenever I was a little kid.
Nigga, this nigga Grievous was smoking them niggas. He grabbed the nigga head with his foot and flung his ass. This
Yup.
supposed to be a Jedi Knight, and he flinging their ass with
Yup.
his feet. I'm like,
So,
holy
fuck you.
shit.
You
Why
used to do
didn't they?
Cartoon Network, bro. I used to watch this shit all the time.
Yes, bro. I gotta go watch the whole thing in full, but I've seen so many clips, and they got fucking Yoda and
See, that's the Clone Wars I finished. The newer series is named something different, like Rebels or some shit. And that I have
Rebels
not
is
watched.
not. It's for kids, bro. It's good, and they have callbacks. You know, they got fucking Darth Vader versus Ahsoka.
Okay,
And
but they
Kenobi.
did continue Clone Wars all the way to 2019
Yes.
then. Okay,
Yes.
so I stopped watching whenever Rebels came out. Whenever that was, that's whenever I quit watching Clone Wars because we lost our subscription to Disney Plus.
Right, but you seen how Clone Wars ended though, right?
I mean, I assume it ends with the end of the Clone Wars and with the start of one of the movies.
But you seen Darth Maul in there and everything. Like you seen all that, bro?
I've seen clips, but I haven't watched it.
No, bro.
haven't seen
Listen to
any
me.
of
Well, let me break it down for you, bro. Because the last 4 episodes were the best. I'm pretty sure you probably got to the point when Ahsoka was with them 2 Mexican chicks.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, because it was funny as fuck. This chick was getting, so basically it was some mobsters came in. They was like, where our money at, bitch? She like, nigga, I ain't giving y'all shit, or I got it right here. Pull out a wrench, smack their ass. But these 2 tall ass aliens, I posted shit on my Snapchat. They got to beating her ass. And Ahsoka was like, should I help you? She like, nah, I got this. Nigga, One of them pulling a full Nelson, the other one stuck ass. I'm like, oh my god, they showing this? Because they beat this bitch up and Ahsoka did not help her, bro. When I tell you, it was the funniest scene I've seen in the whole shit. Like, hell yeah. And you know, they coming out with the Bad Batch from the beginning of the season, the Bad Batch of clones that has supernatural, not supernatural, but superhuman abilities. They getting their own Clone Wars type TV show. That's the next animated show they're coming out with.
Damn, it's
Yes,
gonna be
bro.
lit.
And it's gonna be coming out soon, May 4th. So
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. They're gonna be released on that day, and that's all. That's like the most recent thing they're releasing besides the live action shit. You know, Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian season 3. So in the Clone Wars last 4 episodes, nigga, this is the best Clone Wars season you will ever see. Like, if you need to watch something, nigga, you probably can find it on YouTube as a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, genuinely, it's like they say it's the best. They say it's like the best fucking Star Wars, best Clone Wars content that you can get. Like, literally, it's probably the best Star Wars movie. You know what I'm saying? If they put that as a movie, it is the best. Because you see Ahsoka come back to Anakin before he goes to talk to the Chancellor and be like, yeah, the dark side kind of cool, Anakin. You know, even before he could put that little seed in there. You know, that scene when they walking around and he's like, yeah, I learned a little bit about the Force from my master, you know. He told me the dark side, it ain't that bad, brother. You know, like before that conversation, you see Anakin and Ahsoka meet up and them wanting to talk more. And they're like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, you know, it's good to see you, but we got some business because Mandalore is being attacked by Darth Maul. Darth Maul has taken over Mandalore, basically. He has beat the motherfucker for the Darksaber. And, you know, Bo-Katan is trying to take it back from him. You know who Bo-Katan is, right? Bitch with orange hair. So Bo-Katan is trying to take it back. And the shit is just amazing because you see the Mandalorian troopers with Darth Maul design on their helmets, you know, the Death Watch is what they call them and shit like that. And they're fighting other Mandalorians, and you know, Ahsoka's trying to help Bo-Katan and all this other shit, bro. And then Darth Maul is there, controlling shit, and he can feel in the Force. This is the best characterization Darth Maul has ever gotten, besides when he actually dies in the Rebel series, nigga. He was there and he's freaking out when he gets captured, right? Ahsoka basically goes there to capture him and she succeeds in her own way because Ahsoka is like a night level. She's at least night level mid-master at this point. Like, she's really like progressing in the Force. Ahsoka is already she's trained by Anakin Skywalker, bro. So she already kind of talented in that rebellious way like him. You know what I'm saying? So she's not weak. You know, and Maul is severely weakened. This is Maul not in his prime, basically. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it makes sense that he can even combat with her. You know what I'm saying? So they have a fight, nigga. The fight is animated amazing. And they finally capture him, and Maul's freaking out. He's like, bro, we're all about to die. Like, they're literally about to kill us. Don't you feel this shit in the Force, my nigga? We're about to fucking lose everything, bro. We're getting fucked right now. And they capture Maul, and then on the ship, Order 66 is executed. Basically, Ahsoka tries to get in contact with Anakin after capturing Maul, and she can't because Obi-Wan is going to get Grievous at the same time. Yeah. So, nigga, all the 501st members that Anakin gave her, he gave her like half the Force, and they had their helmets painted orange and blue for her skin complexion because they fuck with her. She came back to the Order, basically. You know what I'm saying? At the last minute, she came back to the Order. So they like, bro, this our bitch. That's Captain Tano. You feel me? She was a captain as a Padawan. You know, you use the Force. You already more useful than 100 soldiers as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So, they fuck with her, and then on the ship, he like, all right, bet, Order 66 executed. They, all right, bet, we finna shoot this bitch. She, hey, whoa. Even Rex finna blick her ass down, right? But she knocked Rex out, and then they escape, and she get these drones to take the little chip out his head, and Rex is basically working with her to escape the ship, and at the same time, she let Maul loose. She like, fuck it, bro, we fucked right now. They're gonna kill all our ass. Go out there and cause some havoc. I don't think he did a little bit more than what she was intending. Like, you know, Maul, he did too much. He went through the hallway, no lightsaber, nothing, just a Force, killing clone troopers like it ain't shit. He that bitch smoking their ass, Force choking niggas, killing them with beams and shit like that. And then he get down to the ship engine. He like, man, I'm gonna fuck this shit up. He pulls down the ship engines, like, and he drags this fucking ship out of the sky from the inside, bro. I'm like, holy fucking shit. This shit was amazing. So he pulls down the ship. And I guess him, Ahsoka, and Rex are probably the only survivors. And Ahsoka and Rex stay behind to bury the soldiers that died. And she's sitting there, and it's like, bro, it's just done, bro. We're fucked. You know what I'm saying? At that point, all the Jedi who didn't die realized that they were fucked. So she's like, all right, bet. They had their helmets on sticks by their graves. She dropped the lightsaber, walked off. Her and Rex gone. Because, you know, Rex is in the Rebel series. Yeah. Him and other clones who, I guess, defected and shit like that. So Ahsoka drops it, and then they show another clip of Vader finding the lightsaber years later, after like the whole place is covered with like snow, and it's all, you can see that the time has passed, and he just picks up the lightsaber, and he's like, he can feel it. He knows that's Ahsoka's lightsaber. You know what I'm saying? And he just assumes that she's dead, I guess, until he sees her in Rebels again. They have their little confrontation, and she's like, "Oh, bitch, I thought she was dead," type shit. But nigga, I almost cried because it was that good. Like, and then it was like
Fuck
animated
yeah.
so well. It was animated so well, and just I guess they use motion capture and shit like that. And man, like, I think it is absolutely the best Star Wars content that's come out in a while, besides the Mandalorian, bro. And I'm like, bro, the newer series didn't really hit me like that. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with. If they did Finn character dirty, bro. That's one of the main things that fucked me up. They did Finn character dirty. He was supposed to be force sensitive and shit like that, but that was a red herring. They wanted to give it all to Rey and just make him scream my name 100% of the time. I ain't like that shit at all. And they killed off all the older characters and shit like that. They just did it just to do it. You know what I'm saying? The first movie was okay, but like I said, I didn't like that Kylo Ren was. I don't like that he's so emotional. I get it that he's struggling with the pull of the light side. That's his whole thing, and that's an interesting concept. A Sith Lord struggling to be good because he has good in him.
It's just the polar opposite of Anakin.
Yeah, he's the polar opposite of Anakin, and it's just he's less powerful for that reason. Anakin was the shit because he was like, "Boy, I'm evil now." He killed them kids, and he was like, "I'm evil, bro. Fuck it, I'm just gonna
No,
be me."
so the reason why Anakin was so powerful is because he mastered the light. He mastered
He
the
mastered
good
both
of the
sides.
Force. And then he transitioned into being a Sith Lord because Sidious persuaded him and mastered the evil side of the Force.
So
So
he had the maximum power that they could
on
accomplish
both
on
sides,
both sides. Yes,
which
and he
hadn't
had all the
happened
knowledge.
for thousands of years. The last time that happened
Revan,
was, yeah,
Revan,
was it Revan? Yeah,
Revan. It was Darth Revan.
the guy who created the lightsaber that Darth fucking that Count
Yeah.
Dooku holds.
Yes, Darth
Yep.
Revan. Yeah, bro, and those stories are way more interesting. You ever seen the fucking trailers for the
I read
Old
all the
Republic?
books.
And you see, like, you read all the books. Those stories, they could have just did that. To be honest,
So
that shit would have
in
been
the
crazy to
70s, the
see.
80s, the 90s, and in the early 2000s, Lucas and a bunch of authors teamed up and wrote like a massive amount of books that are all canon in Star Wars lore.
Yes,
And
I've been researching multiple of them. I look at them on YouTube and everything, bro. Like,
I've literally read 32 books, and I think there's 36 if I remember
holy
correctly.
fuck. Yeah. See, look, the most I did was I look at YouTube videos that describe each comic and this, that, and the third. So I know a lot about
No, no, no.
a lot of
They're
different
not
comics.
comics.
And I mean, but
They're
they talk about the
books.
novels too. They talk about the novels too.
And
You know what I'm
they're
saying?
good.
Yeah, they're good.
Fucking
They're
good.
actually good. Yes, right. I know.
Like, they're
That's what I'm
good
saying.
books. I
That's
was
what I'm
like,
trying to say. There's
I
so
would
much
start
great
reading because
content.
I read two of them that were stories about like characters in the movies, but that they're irrelevant characters in the movies. And I was kind of like, okay, these are all right, but I want to know about some like something cool, like some lore or something, because it was just like tales about them going to different planets and like going on these crazy ass rescue
Oh
missions where
yeah, all
they
the
would
different
like,
Jedi doing different shit.
yeah, but they weren't even Jedi. They were like literally irrelevant fucking like clones and other characters who were force sensitive. They would go to planets and with fucking blasters and kill hundreds of troops. And then there was one of them that took place during the Clone Wars. So I read like two or three of those. And then I read one book that was about Darth Plagueis, and bro,
Yeah, that's the
cooked
best.
like a fucking fish on cocaine, bro. On that shit. I read
It's,
every book I could find.
Star Wars Theory talks a lot about that book. He fucks with that book really heavy. You know who that is? Guy on YouTube. He's literally the most popular fucking Star Wars
Nah,
YouTuber.
bro, I don't watch any Star Wars YouTube.
I watch a decent amount now. I'm literally looking at his fucking podcast that he did with some other guy. But yeah, bro. Like, yeah, I heard about a lot of shit, and I looked up a lot of shit. I want to get audiobooks like that Plagueis book. I've heard about that, and I want to get into. I want to read that one. And yeah, but like I keep up with the comics mostly because those are like short stories that people can put in like a little 10-minute video. I'll be at work and I'll listen to a short story from whatever comic book was created, and it'll be canon, non-canon, however they want to do it. So yeah, that shit's fucking interesting, bro. Like, man, Star Wars is crazy.
It's
Um,
just it got so much more detail and flushed out after the movies made it popular. Like that
yeah,
was awesome.
yeah, bro. And I just think that they should have fucking stuck to the script, stuck to the plan, man. Stick to the fucking plan. Like, I don't nobody, like nobody, no show, no anime has been successful for real by going off their own material and straying
False.
away from the manga. Not for real.
Full Metal Alchemist.
The Alchemist is that's subjective. That's a opinion wise. But actually, I've heard that Brotherhood or not Brotherhood, the original one is good.
Everything that you judge that's art is subjective. You can't
Exactly.
objectively judge art. Then, bitch, your fucking point is irrelevant.
Listen to me.
Objectively, it was successful. Full
Was
Metal
it?
Alchemist is it's one of the highest rated
I
animes of all
always
time.
hear. I thought Brotherhood was that. I didn't. The original.
They
Honestly,
both are.
I only hear negative things about the original. To be honest, I've only
Because
heard two
people
people talk
whine and
positive.
the only
Yeah.
people who whine and bitch and complain about it are people who read the manga, then watch the anime, or watch the anime, heard about Brotherhood, read the manga, and then were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they would do that," and then watch the fucking Brotherhood. Like,
Yeah.
if you read the material prior to it coming out, of course you're not gonna think it's as good. Like, if you read the Harry Potter books before you watch the movies, you're not gonna
Yeah.
think the movies are that
That's a
great. But if
very
you watch the
common
Harry
thing.
Potter movies, they're fucking awesome. Then you read the books and you're like, dude, the books are even better, and you don't have a complaint
Same
because
thing
you were
with Game of
exposed to the
Thrones.
material first. That's probably the same thing. But to be honest with
But
you, I
Game of
don't know
Thrones they
because I don't
ruined that.
particularly care.
Nah, I ain't gonna say it, but Game of Thrones they stray too far though. That's one of the examples where it's like, bro, y'all really didn't know what to do, and y'all did the wrong thing in the end.
Y'all fucked up.
Man, they did Game of Thrones so dirty. I'm
Like,
sad as
a
fuck.
perfect example of this, of what you're talking about, is Aragon. So there's a book series called Aragon about this kid who becomes a dragon rider. Okay, he's supposed to become the
Uh,
next king of dragons.
was there a movie about that? Yeah,
Yes,
I think I
there's a
heard of
movie
that.
called Aragon, and
Yeah,
the
I think I heard of
movie,
that.
if you're like 10, is awesome. If you're like 12, it's fucking dog shit.
Jesus Christ,
Like, the
at
second you
12?
can comprehend
The second
like,
you
I'm
can
not even
comprehend
kidding.
a good
The
story.
second you can comprehend a good story, it's
Yeah.
literally ass. But whenever you're 10 years old and you're watching this kid yell fucking Brazinger and fire shoots out from his bow, you're like, oh my god, it's amazing. Like, you just fucking busted a nut for the first time after your right nut just dropped. Like, it's
Okay.
fucking insane.
Catch your first
But
orgasm
when
from
as
Magic
soon as
God.
you're like, 12 years old and you can understand good storytelling, you're like, wow, this is kind of like mediocre at best.
All
And
right,
then you
I'm a
read the books, and the books are god tier of literature. Like, they're fucking amazing. Like, Eldest is like 700